Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Elise. I talk all things conscious consumption, elevated living, and being mindful of the impact that we have on the planet. And today's video is going to be things I'll never buy again or I don't buy anymore. I've actually done a part 1 to this video, so I'll leave that linked up above and then also in the description if you want to check it out. That one is definitely geared more towards like personal body care and just like things within myself that like I have immediate control over that I don't buy. This one is definitely going to be a bit more like consumer goods focused, maybe a bit more like trendy kind of focused, and something a bit more like fun and lighthearted. I also want to acknowledge my privilege before we head into this and the fact that I am able to afford my principles. That actually was a comment someone had left on my previous video saying like I am in a place to be able to afford what my core values are. And while yes, I do see merit in that comment, I also want to acknowledge that sustainability and poverty typically go hand in hand, but the way sustainability has kind of taken a different sort of movement and approach is people think sustainability, they think zero waste, they think plastic free, they think I have to overhaul my entire life and make it aesthetic and green and like in nice little jars that have labels on them, and that's not the case whatsoever. Typically the most sustainable thing you can do is use what you already have and not make waste and throw things away just in the name of having an aesthetic lifestyle under the guise of sustainability. And any sustainability influencer or whoever who's telling you to throw things out and replace them with new things, they are not the one. They are lying to you. Don't throw anything out that still has good lifespan unless it's actually actively poisoning you. Different story. Anyway, I just want to acknowledge, like, yes, I come from a place of privilege and am able to afford my principles in some way, but at the same time, a lot of sustainable practices come from people living below the poverty line. Like, I've been there myself, and some of my best money saving tips and tricks were out of necessity, but I've still carried that with me. They're no longer out of necessity in the same urgency of like, I need my dollars to stretch as far as possible, paycheck to paycheck, month to month. They're out of a different necessity to care for the planet and care for my community and care for myself and future generations to come. So I just want to get that out of the way. I do acknowledge I'm coming from a place of being able to afford things in a different manner and maybe a bit more easily like bite the bullet up front and front that cost and let it pay for itself in the long term. And I'm not saying like, oh, if you just cut out blah blah blah, you can totally afford this sustainable gadget that's going to make your life easier. That's not the point, but I do encourage if you can make those minor shifts to cut out like fast fashion, for example, or eating out all the time, or having excessive food waste, and stretch your dollar there to buy something a bit nicer that's going to last you longer, then yeah, I definitely suggest that, but that's not the point of this video. It's to be a bit more lighthearted, a bit more fun, and talk about things that I don't think are worth it or that I don't buy anymore because of the way that I live my life. Let's get into it. First thing that I will never buy, you will never catch me buying, is a wedding guest dress for a multitude of reasons. First being, lately I've been in most of the weddings that I've been invited to, which is great because I'm not buying a wedding guest dress, but then it's twofold. I'm buying a bridesmaid's dress, which is definitely a bit more specific and less versatile. But where I can save a little bit of money is not buying wedding guest dresses. The last few weddings that I went to and attended, I rented from Nuuly, and I mean, I got so many compliments on the dress, which was amazing, and I loved renting it and knowing that like it's such a specific dress and I know I'm gonna love it and wear it for this one event, but I don't have to keep it in my closet and feel guilty about not ever wearing it again. Because let me tell you, wedding guest dresses are expensive, but like a subscription model kind of service, even if you just do it for the first month from like Nuuly or Rent the Runway, it's like $100. That already is half the price of a wedding guest dress, obviously depending on what you buy and where you buy it from. So having a rental is just like way more sustainable because you're returning it after the fact. It's not sitting in a closet or ending up in a landfill, and it's also just so much cheaper and it's just more fun. Either expect me to rent a dress or expect me to rewear a dress. I am not afraid of being an outfit repeater whatsoever. The whole micro trend and everything having to be new and novel all the time and something exciting and fun and fresh, like that has definitely worn people out. If I ever buy a wedding guest dress, we'll be re-wearing it to every single wedding I'm invited to. I can never foresee myself buying a new luxury handbag simply because the resale market is so full of luxury handbags that are like not steeply discounted, but they're discounted and it's still like in good condition. Sometimes it's new with tags, but it's for resale. I bought like a Coach handbag or like little shoulder bucket bag off of ThredUp that was still in really good condition for like a fraction of the price of what it would have been new. And honestly, it served me really well, and I don't see an issue with buying things like that secondhand, especially because if they're already of such good quality and they have a lot of life left, I don't mind getting it on a discount and wearing it and styling it in my wardrobe because it's new to me. I also think the quality, this is tea, of luxury handbags and luxury items has just degraded over time. So I actually would way rather buy a vintage one or like something from the 90s or 80s or even like early 2000s. I think that's preferable for the sake of the quality of the item. I really don't think a lot of these new items are like full gold or fully gold plated. Maybe they're gold brushed, like, and you're still paying like the inflation on top of what the luxury bag was. No thanks. I don't think I will ever buy a book again. And it's not because I hate reading. It's because we have libraries you can borrow from a friend. We have those give one, take one libraries like kind of all over the neighborhood, all over the community. And I just don't see a need to go to a bookstore and buy a book. I just don't, especially when they're available online, like as an e-reader on your phone. It may not be great for your eyes, but it is an option. That way, like physically, I'm not taking up so much space, but also I just think like the library is such an underutilized resource that a lot more people need to know about and need to be using, especially because it offers you so much more than just books. Like there's a lot of physical media that you can rent, like CDs, DVDs. I don't know if they do Blu-ray. The library just so good. Press-on nails. No matter how long it takes me to paint my nails, no matter how much they smudge, no matter how easily they chip, press-on nails are never ever worth it in my opinion. I have ruined my nail beds a multitude of times, whether I'm like applying them wrong or the glue is just the wrong kind of glue or just not good for my nails. Press-on nails are never worth it because you have a full set for maybe 2 days and then they start flying and popping off and they're damaging the heck out of your nails. They're also just like not good for the planet, I don't think, because they're only reusable up to a certain extent. Story time. Actually, I took off a full set of press-on nails and then soaked them in acetone. Idiot, I know, thinking it would get rid of the glue so I could reuse them, and all it did was literally melt the press-on nails. Learn from my mistakes. Don't do it. I was under the guise of like, oh, they're so reusable, this is great, I'm gonna use these all the time, and then they ruined my nails. I couldn't really reuse them. They popped off. I started losing them. They're just, in my opinion, never worth it. Next up is expensive sunglasses. Kind of like the luxury handbag sort of vibe. I don't even think I'd buy secondhand luxury sunglasses just because of what I'm about to say. It's the fact that they're always going to be thrown around. They're at the bottom of your bag. Maybe you didn't bring a case with them. They're just going to get scratched really easily or just too easily. Like they're just items that don't have a lot of life to them. So I don't want to subject myself to buying a super expensive pair of sunglasses to either never wear them or they get broken too easily. I will, however, continuously buy like cheap pairs, like fun pairs, because that's what I do. And they like completely change the vibe of the look, and there are definitely knockoff of designers and their sunglasses. Like to me, it's not that big of a deal. This next one I've learned the hard way, and that is excessive skincare. I am a skincare girly. I think it's super fun, sometimes even more fun than makeup, but just like makeup, it can be taken a bit too far. Even if things are meant to be good for your skin or serve some sort of benefit, I found this out the hard way, obviously, as most people do. I went on a skin fast, so I stopped using anything except for SPF. on my face. Like I was just rinsing with water, and then at night like a little bit of an oil cleanse just to get the SPF off. And I wasn't using any moisturizer, I wasn't using any serums, I wasn't using any creams, any peptides, nothing. I completely just like cut off cold turkey for about a week, and it changed the way I think about skincare fundamentally. I'm also on my no-buy, which kind of fed into it. I was like, okay, let's see what products I can go without when I do eventually run out of them. Turns out I could go without pretty much all of them. I have been using like it's not even that long of a skincare routine. It's maybe about like, depending on if it's morning or night, like 5 to 8 steps, right? And depending on like what I'm cycling in and cycling out. And that's far too many, even though every product individually is supposed to serve a purpose for my skin. But it's just when I'm using so many on top of the other and I've used them for so long, they don't work as well as they're meant to when you're layering that many and you're using that many skincare products in your routine every single day. There's only so much your skin physically can take in effectively and efficiently, and by layering on so many products, it's not going to work. Put it down. Stick to as simple a routine as possible. I've definitely gotten better about this over the years, but it didn't really click to me until I did that skin fast that I'm probably doing more harm than good and having my skin almost be dependent on these products in a way, or to make my skin feel a certain way, when really I just need to press the reset button and let my skin kind of get back to its natural, I was gonna say abundance, but it's not that, like natural kind of rhythm, right? Of like skin cell turnover and regulating oil, and then see what my skin needs really are, especially since I was on Accutane. My skin needs have probably changed dramatically, and I'm not like paying attention to them and the way I really should be. So I definitely am a big proponent for like paring down your skincare routine, having like 3 or 4 products in your daily routine that like really work for you. Piggybacking off of that, I can never see myself buying like skincare gadgets and like hair care gadgets. Specifically, I'm talking about that Shark like cryo mask with like the depuffing under eyes. Like, do I think it's cool? Yes. Would I go out and spend like 400 of my hard-earned dollars on that? I don't think so. And it's mostly because I do have like a red light panel, and I do have a facial roller, and I have gua sha, and I feel like that's all I need. I could put my facial roller in the fridge or even just run it under cold water and depuff my under eyes. I could even put spoons in the fridge and depuff my under eyes. Like, I don't genuinely need like a new gadget. Do I think the red light has been helpful? Yes, especially with like acne scarring and pigmentation and like having had like really bad, crazy acne. I do think it helps, especially since I've been consistent with it. But I also don't think like my skin is at that point where like I need a fix. I'm desperate to spend whatever kind of money it is on anything. And again, maybe this is skincare privilege where like I went through Accutane, I reacted well to it, and now my skin needs have shifted and are definitely more on like recovery and like building back collagen and stuff versus needing like acne cures. So I think instead of allocating that money to skincare gadgets and gizmos, spending it on a professional's advice and a dermatologist and a hormone panel and like whatever else you think you might need. Same thing with hair care gadgets. I want so badly like that little thermal brush where it's just heated and you wrap your hair around and it like gives you that nice cute inner flick. Like, God, do I want that so badly. Do I need it? No. Am I ever actually gonna pull the trigger on it and buy it? Most likely not. I don't think I'm ever gonna like spend my money on it because my Shark has a round brush attachment to it. So I don't need to go out and buy like a separate thermal round brush when I have that same thing. It just works a little bit differently. And I did use that today and I feel like it's fine. Sound off in the comments if you have one and if it's actually changed your life. Maybe I will bite my tongue and, you know, eat my words and this is something I am gonna end up buying, but who knows. Up next, this is outdated, this is beating a dead horse, but I'm gonna mention it. I don't need a Stanley cup. I don't need an Owala water bottle. I wasn't mind blown this past summer when the girlies had moved on from one cup brand to another and Owala is now like all the rage and like that's the whole thing. I have 3 Hydro Flasks. That already sounds like too many, but they all serve a different purpose in my life. I have one right here. This is my work from home, like indoor one. I carry this all around the house with me, and I can also fit it in the car, but I don't carry it around outside. Then I have my outdoor travel one that I commute with, and I bring that to work. And then I have my travel one where I'm gonna be like flying, but I wanna be able to like refill my water bottle or even like throw it in the bag with me when I like go back home or like anywhere where I need to fly. I don't bring my big ones. I bring my small travel one. And the only way I would ever get like a Stanley or an Awala is if one of those went missing or broke or was like no longer usable for whatever reason. Okay, this next one is like a little specific, but plastic luggage, I just think like, why would you ever buy that? I mean, I've seen what happens to my luggage when it comes out the carousel from the plane. That shit gets thrown around like crazy, and you're gonna tell me you think everything inside is going to be protected by this flimsy layer of plastic that is breaking on the corners, breaking on the sides. I would need like titanium. I would need steel. I don't think plastic is durable enough, especially like that kind of like hard plastic, to be in the cargo hold of airplanes and then shooting out the carousel. I've just seen it break, and I've seen how little damage it can actually sustain before it's in literal pieces. And luggage is expensive. I have like fabric luggage that is dirty, but it's still usable. It's tearing on the sides a little bit, but until the zippers start popping, until pockets no longer close or open, or it's literally falling apart, like I'm not replacing it. Especially not with plastic luggage. There's a luxury plastic luggage, if I'm not mistaken. Next on my list is upgraded tech. And I feel like this has become a bigger conversation once we found out Apple was like literally slowing down your iPhone just so you would upgrade to the newest one, or you weren't eligible for like iOS updates anymore. And I think we've, as a society, become a little bit more aware of that. Like this is like a planned obsolescence, and they're asking you to upgrade every single year. Otherwise your stuff's not gonna work anymore, and it was planned that way. That, and we're also really tired and fatigued of like smartphones and like AI slop taking over the internet. Like we just don't want to see anymore. So I am not upgrading my iPhone until it literally breaks. I am gonna delete all my photos, export things to external hard drives if I'm out of storage before I upgrade my phone. Like I'm not doing it this year. I'm not doing it for the foreseeable future until, again, it literally breaks or I have to replace it for whatever reason. I also have wired headphones. I'm using a secondhand camera to film my YouTube videos. I have gifted AirPods. Like I am only with a new MacBook because my last one broke and I couldn't repair it. I tried. The guy did his best, but it just didn't work. I am very against upgrading tech for the sake of upgrading tech. If it works, use it. I am of the firm belief that you should use things until they are run into the ground, and even then try to repair it or re-optimize it in some way, and then if that doesn't work, okay, upgrade. Like with my old MacBook, I already had that for at least 10 years and it was just completely cooked. Like the parts they didn't even make anymore, and I was really sad to let it go, but at least I got its full lifespan out of it. I'm saying like I never buy upgraded tech for the sake of it and to say I have the newest hottest thing. Kind of in line with that, I will never ever buy a bougie car. I just won't do it. Something in me is like repulsed by the fact that a car can cost the same amount as like a one-bedroom condo, like a piece of property that will appreciate, and this car that will only ever depreciate. Like I just cannot wrap my head around why people do that, or like do they just have like a stupid amount of money to throw around? Like there's only two options. They're either living paycheck to paycheck because of this car, because of this purchase, or they just have stupid money to throw around and that's what they spent it on. I foresee myself buying like a used EV, electric vehicle. Otherwise, I'm not buying a car. Like it's just not happening. And even then, I would probably buy, if I can't get like a used electric vehicle, just a used car in general. It just like pains me to see what kind of money people are spending on cars. And that's just the car price, right? Then you have insurance, then you have maintenance, then you have gas. Like I cannot bring myself to buy a car anytime soon, but especially not like a bougie one. I am so grateful that we are a single car household and it meets our needs and then some. Like, I'm good on that. Thank you. Next thing you will never catch me buying is anything that's like low quality or synthetic sheets, comforters, blankets, pillowcases, etc., etc. Simply because when I'm sleeping or laying down or want to cozy up, it's just that I want to be cozy, and polyester has this like staticky, sticky, like scratchy feel to it, and especially those like fleece, like polyester blankets. I hate those for a number of reasons, but number one reason being, the second you wash it, it literally turns into a piece of shit, and I don't want it touching my body at all. It's not only like it loses its softness, but it starts to like clump together, and it's just gross. It's just gross. I don't want to lay down with it. And then also like sheets, I bought like a Brooklinen, really nice mulberry silk pillowcase, and I never want to go back. It's really great for your hair, it's great for your skin and fine lines and all that jazz, but it's where you're spending so much of your time. You might as well invest not only in like your mattress being high quality, but especially your sheets and your comforter, because those are things that you change and wash often, and you want it to be able to withstand that kind of stuff. I do have quince sheets on the bed now that we actually got from eBay from returns, which was my worst kept secret during my moving vlogs. It's what's it called? I want to say it's called like Revive eBay, and it's all of the returns that Quince gets that they like can't sell for whatever reason. They sell them on eBay for a super deep discount, and it's like new with tax. I'll leave that linked in the description if you're interested. Next up, and I know a lot of people that have this, so I don't want you to get upset with me, is Ring or any other surveillance subscription model thing where you can see like who's at your front door and when someone passes by your house. I'm not a paranoid person, but if there's something suspicious or fishy, I will get paranoid, you know? And I think seeing the Ring and having people come up and like knowing exactly who's coming up to the house or like passing by, like that's just too much information for me, like that I don't need to know. Also, we don't even need to talk about the Super Bowl ad where they're like, we're gonna track down your dog, but really we're gonna surveil your entire neighborhood and you're gonna let us because you signed our terms and conditions. Yeah, no thank you. Not signing up for that whatsoever, not opting in. So I'm not even gonna buy it. But it's not just Ring, it's like any of those companies. I don't find it necessary, and I think it kind of removes us a bit further from community and relying on your neighbors for like the hot goss, the 411, the neighborhood watch, and like relying on this device that is just watching everyone and everything. It's creepy. Also, not to mention we have a dog that barks at literally everything. Sorry for letting an angle change. I had a wedding photographer phone call that did not pan out. Anyway, super random, but I just don't think I will ever buy hair extensions. I've never bought hair extensions. I just don't have the need. Like, I have a lot of hair. However, it is really fine hair. So if I ever wanted to like add length, I would need to just, I don't know, buy a lot of extensions to like kind of blend in nicely, and like that's a whole commitment. And I've also kind of always kept my hair on the longer side, so hair extensions for me, if you love them, pop off, but like I feel like they're so fussy, especially getting them like braided into your hair or micro bonded into your hair or taped into your hair or sewn into your hair. Like, that is a lot of effort for something that's gonna rip out your natural hair. Like, it's scary to me, and it's so expensive. I could just never see myself buying hair extensions. Maybe tape-ins, maybe, but again, I don't really feel the need for them. I feel like I've kept after my natural hair and, you know, kept it healthy, kept it long, kept it like a style that suits me, to not ever really need extensions. Next thing I will never ever buy is matcha. Hate it. I am such an avid coffee drinker, coffee lover, and I've tried matcha different ways, different times, different people that have sold it, and companies, different coffee shops, different chains, whatever, and I can just never get behind matcha unless it has like a ton of sweetener in it, and for that, it like defeats the purpose when I can drink my coffee without sweetener. Matcha just is not for me. It never will be. I'm never going to be someone who has like an at-home matcha kit or tries out new matcha lattes wherever I go. I just think they're disgusting. I think it's pond water. It's basically like drinking algae, and I will never buy them. And end of. Kind of on the food wave, I never buy excess amounts or bulk amounts of food. Unless it's like something on sale that we use weekly, we're not buying like fruit in bulk or veg in bulk or anything that can spoil, like meat or eggs, anything that is going to go bad within like the allotted time span. Like, we are not buying it because we know it's going to go to waste. Some people will like bulk up on something because it's on sale, not thinking like, am I really gonna eat 4 heads of romaine lettuce this week? I don't know, but it's 2 for $4, so I'm gonna buy them all. And it's like, you have to think about things just in totality or in feasibility, and like, are you actually saving money if those things go bad? Probably not. But I get it. It's like the sale aspect of it and the like false sense of urgency of it, and like thinking you're getting a good deal. Like, there's a lot of psychology that goes into marketing things a certain way, and it's like easy to fall for, but I'm telling you, you're gonna save more money by buying the thing regular price and not letting it go to waste than if you bought it on sale and it goes to waste. We're in general like really good about avoiding food waste because we have a set menu every single week and like repeat a lot of the same recipes. But even like when we go to our son's parents' house and they try to give us food, we have to tell them no. We're like, we actually genuinely cannot eat all of this before it's gonna go bad, and that makes me feel really bad. And then also we compost, which like also helps, but just in general, avoiding food waste. Oh my god, that was my stomach. Up next, something I could never ever see myself buying is that vibrating plate. It just reminds me of like the 80s or whatever, with like the band that goes around your abs and like moves a lot and is supposed to like make you lose weight without you really doing anything. Like, those sorts of health hacks to me and like health shortcuts are just such bad actors, and like in the name of health and in the name of wellness and in the name of getting you to move your body. Like, it's a gimmick essentially at the end of the day. I don't think anything can replace real movement such as like yoga, swimming, walking. And you're telling me a vibrating plate is gonna like open up all my lymph nodes magically and drain everything in 5 minutes? It's just not for me. I'd rather not waste money and space on it and just do other things that are at my disposal. And lastly, polyester workout clothes, specifically like Lululemon, Alo Yoga, Nike, Skims, anything like that, I'm not buying into anymore. And I say anymore because yes, I bought polyester workout clothes. I'm not 100% perfect, but now I know how bad it is truly for your health, especially doing things like where you're sweating a lot and a lot of cardio. You're opening your pores up to all the toxic forever petrochemicals that these clothing pieces are made out of, and allowing them into like your bloodstream and into contact with your skin. And those polyester clothes just aren't good in general, but when you're working out, it kind of amplifies their effect. And then also on top of that, polyester is not really breathable, so it's kind of like a greenhouse gas effect, but like on your own body, on your own personal biosphere. It's really crazy to think about. So I'm like looking to slowly but surely replace my workout clothes with man-made cellulosic fibers. So that's like modal, viscose, rayon, things that are made like plant-based but they're synthesized. Or if I can't get like, you know, natural cotton or linen workout or wool workout, I don't really think that's a thing, but I can't get like purely natural fibers, and man-made cellulosic fibers are the next best thing because they're still naturally occurring, they're just synthesized into fibers. Knowing what I know now about how it really impacts like your endocrine system, which are your hormones, and just your bodily health in general, and working out in those clothes, like I can't do it anymore. If you made it to this point in the video, I love you so very much. Let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video by leaving the shopping bag emoji. It lets me know you're a real one. I also would love to know what you're no longer buying anymore in the comments. You guys left some really good ones last time, so I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Never say never, but I'm like 99.9% sure these are things I won't ever be spending money on. We'll just leave it at that. There's gonna be a video recommended at the end of this one just for you, so stick around to see what that is. I'll catch you in my next video, but until then, don't forget to be kind to yourself, others, and the planet. Bye.